Surprise, surprise, people are harassing and threatening the animator that did the Bonney scene for the latest episode of One Piece last night. You see individuals like this making posts like this, basically saying like, oh, we're gonna throw large rocks and a hammer at you, to people saying, he's going to go to hell, to, calling him, Epstein disciple, and then, this as well, saying that they wish the worst of things to happen to you. This is just some of the few individuals on this post of people just commenting and saying like, yeah, you are an awful person, you're disgrace, you're disgusting, etc., for even daring to be an animator and working on the One Piece anime and even drawing this scene for One Piece. And it's just, I'm gonna say exactly what I said earlier on Twitter today. People treat fictional characters better than they treat actual real people. And people don't know how to separate reality from fiction. It is a statement I've been saying a lot as of late, and I'm glad to see more pushback on this as of late as well. I noticed that there is definitely an upward trend of people being like, enough is enough. Like, you guys need to, get off of social media, you need to get off the internet, and be able to understand that it is a drawing. It is a work of art, it's a piece of fiction, it's nothing that is relatively real whatsoever, and individuals that go as far as to be just so angry with, just fiction to harass a real person is absolutely insane behavior. And it's just it's crazy to me, because for one, let's go on a limb here and talk about this, okay? Animators are overworked, underappreciated, and continuously have potentially deadlines and scheduling issues, etc. I'm not saying this individual here, this animator, had those issues, because I don't know how the inner workings are at Toei or freelancers, etc. I have no idea. The point of the matter is that usually when it comes to animators that work on Japanese anime, they typically don't have, a lot of freedom. They're usually really just pressed for time, and they're overworked. And it's very awful to see individuals, going out of their way to harass these animators throughout different shows because they don't agree with something in the story or a certain character, and it's not even the animator's fault. Like, hypothetically, okay? Even if I wanted to go on a limb, I don't even really want to humor this, but it's even if we wanted to, it's not even the animator's fault. Like, the animator legitimately has nothing to do with the actual story. They were just paid to do a job, and they're animating a scene in One Piece. And obviously, an animator should be proud of their work because it takes time, dedication, and a lot of effort to be able to make these products. I mean, it could take weeks, months, etc. to be able to do something like this. And it's a lot of hours, hundreds of hours potentially, to do just a few seconds for an anime. So, when you factor all of this in, it's just seeing absolutely disrespectful stuff like this of people commenting, it's gross. It's very gross behavior, and it's just I cannot believe what society has become nowadays. I want to reinstate this once again. People treat fictional characters better than actual real people. They'll literally die on a hill, okay? They will say the most atrocious things to a real person to make them to the point to where they just don't care anymore about even life itself, but they will defend a fictional character that is not real, will never say anything to them, and doesn't need defending because it's just a story. And it's just bro, these people, man, touch grass. Just touch freaking grass. Now, with that being said, there is a few things that does need to be talked about. This animator is taking it a little bit of a better than most. For instance, basically, they start talking about how, their reaction to reading the comments and replies, and this is hilarious. Here, I'll let it play. It's good. Well, what a Giga Chad, man. This is a Giga Chad of an animator. But, getting into the main point, though, it's just I hate how animators now can't really post on social media because this reaction from this animator isn't the norm. For instance, usually animators will be very upset to the point to where they'll, kind of private their account, or they'll delete their account, etc., or never really post again. And it's sad because animators posted some of their works or talking about some of their stuff gives us a nice look inside the industry on just the inner workings of how some of our favorite scenes in anime is actually made. And seeing these people go out of their way to harass these animators when they kind of make themselves a little bit public, it's crazy because it's you're ruining everything for everyone to be able to even talk with these individuals that work on our favorite shows. But anyways, getting into the other point, let's actually talk about where the drama is coming from. So, people are upset with the Bonney scene because Bonney is obviously being shown in a very fan servicey way. I mean, yeah, okay, the entire scene is. It's anime. It's anime. Anyone that watches anime knows this is just a common thing. It happens. And people getting that upset about it, just stop watching anime. Seriously. Because that bugs you. You're never going to be able to escape it. Because that's literally what anime does. But another reason for why people are upset, which I'm not going to talk too deep about, for one reason, is because it's spoilers. And these people getting so upset with anime onlys even daring posting about this, I'm like, yo, you individuals that are commenting about this and spoiler reasons about Bonney, it's like, you realize you probably were in the exact same position as anime onlys like a few years back, or even last year, the beginning of last year, and you were completely fine with probably art, fan art, etc. It's just because of recent stuff, you change your opinion on it, and even then, I think it's still crazy just to go that far over something fictional, a story that Oda is writing. It's crazy, though. Like, I really just despise a lot of people that does this. Like, I can't believe people go out of their way as well, to just sit down and be like, you know what, I'm going to say some of the most heinous things to individuals about, a fictional story. I'm just going to make them feel awful. Like, I'm going to threaten them with large rocks and a hammer. And even though this individual probably would never do that, if they were put into a room with someone like this animator, I'm willing to bet you they would never say this to their face. But it's like, still, it's crazy how people have gotten so happy, or I guess, content with saying some of the most awful things online with no repercussions whatsoever. I can't wait for the day when people that does this face actual charges or crimes, whatever. I'm so excited for it one day. I know that it might not be to the same extent, but I wish people that did this had to face consequences for their actions. I really wish we had more of that, because I hate this type of stuff. It makes me so sick. But, I want to leave it at that. I wanted to talk about this because it's like, I really loved this episode of One Piece. It was a very enjoyable episode. It was funny. It was a nice introduction to Egghead. The art style and animation's great. And I loved it. It's great. It's a really great episode. And I can't wait to talk more about the One Piece anime, honestly. I'm going to be reviewing the anime week by week now on. I really want to talk about more. But I want to discuss this because this came out earlier today, and I saw it all over social media, people talking about it, and it, kind of pissed me off a little bit. But, anyways, be safe, stay healthy, everyone. I love ya. Chibi out.